Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tat Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we did one verse last time which said that the Atman attains the fearless oneness with the Brahman, and then it described the Brahman as invisible, incorporeal, means doesn't have a body, inexplicable, cannot grasp with our five senses, and unsupported, because it is its own adhar, basically. That's what he's saying. And then he's saying that then he becomes free from fear. So if you attain that Brahman, and then we did the analysis that there is a law and lawmaker. So one who attains the Brahman kind of becomes a lawmaker himself. That's why he doesn't have any fear. But until you are there will be fear. And then it says, when, however, this makes even a slightest distinction in Brahman, then there is a danger for him. Danger meaning what? Not that way danger. Means Brahman is superior to you. That's how we have to say. So we have to conform it to all the laws. And then we'll see that even the phenomenal forces are the next step, from Brahman, they have got separated as though, and then they also will have fear, and we will see the verse that we're going to do today, what it means. And then it says that very same Brahman himself becomes the source of fear for him who makes a difference and who reflects not. Means the one who doesn't do contemplation, doesn't get established in that Brahman, then there will be a difference and there will be a fear. And so all that we did last time. So now we'll do it, the next one, section 8. One second. So it says, Bhisha asmat vata pavate, Bhisha udeti suryaha, Bhisha asmat agnischa indrascha, Mrityur dhavati pancham iti. So Bhisha means through fear. Asmat of him, that Brahman. Vataha, wind. So now you know this, जो आयुर्वेदा में वात पित्त और ये सब आता है, ये वात कहाँ से आया है? Vayu. It's a Sanskrit word. Vataha is wind. Pavate, blows. Bhisha, through fear. Udeti, rises. Surya, we know sun. Bhisha, through fear. Asmat, of him. Agni, fire. Cha is and. Indraha. Indra is a god of rain. So rain also falls uske dar se. Cha is and. Mrityu, death. Dhavati, proceeds. Idhar udhar bhagti hai. This word, in Marathi they use this word, dhavati, they say. Running hither and thither. Because doing its job. कभी यहाँ से पकड़ना पड़ता है, कभी किसी दूसरी जगह से, मगर it's just doing, मृत्यु is doing his job. Pancham, the fifth means मृत्यु को fifth बताया है, इति 10. So हिंदी में it will become simple. The one who did Hindi translation. उसके भय से, उसके means ब्रह्मन के, उसके भय से ही वायु चलती है, उसके भय से ही सूर्य उदय होता है, उसके भय से ही अग्नि जलती है, और उसके भय से इंद्र वर्षा देता है, और मृत्यु देव अपने कर्मों में लगा रहता है. So it's not that difficult, but some other points and all that different Swamis bring. So when there is a sense of difference, there is a fear that we learned, right? So then he's saying that we see this fear in face of every human being. We saw that fear can express in so many different ways. If I don't do this, this will happen. That's a one kind of fear. And we had made a whole discussion that, hey, does that mean that I should not fear? No, we need to fear, but in the right context. Don't get it. Again, it's the same, like balance. You keep that balance, because certain kind of fear keeps you online. So that's what it is. But then he was saying that Nikhilanandji was explaining that how, forget about humans, animal, bird, plants, all of them have that fear. That's why animals are always like, उनको देखा कोई bird आके बैठती है ना, उसकी आंखें ऐसे ऐसे घूमती रहती है चारों से, because he's trying, कोई मुझे पकड़ ना ले, कोई कुछ कर ना ले, like that. So he's saying that even, forget about all these, even the phenomenal forces, all these 5 forces that we have, they are considered so great and powerful, right? From our perspective. Nature is so powerful, humans cannot do much afterward. They think that they have conquered, but we have not done any conquering, because if the nature decides, you can destroy everything. They're so powerful, but they also have that fear, of the Brahman, and we will see how. So then how do you know that they have a fear? Because they are functioning precisely, and we had talked about that whole drishtanta that this person goes and says, the boss is now still there in the office, I know. And the person said, how do you know? All of you are working very nicely. That's why the boss is sitting there. Boss नहीं होता तो तुम लोग सब, उल्टा सीधा काम कर रहे होते, phone पे लगे होते, खाना खा रहे होते. You're doing your job, means boss is there. So that's why we know, that. So that big boss is there and people are functioning. So the way he was explaining, Nikhilanandji, that the fact that there is a vyavastha in the world, we call it suvyavastha, very good vyavastha. Everything in the world is functioning in a beautiful manner. We have to really think about that, and then you will get it. And following certain laws and principles. So that means there is a higher intelligence. You can call it higher intelligence, or you can call it Bhagwan, or you can call it Prakriti, whatever you want to do, So this is what is there, that higher intelligence is there. And then he gave a very good example. He said that it's like our body. Okay? Our body has so many different organs. They are not independently functioning. We have kidney, we have heart, and the kidney is not the boss, heart is not the boss. None of them are. There's some other boss. We don't think about it that way. All the organs in the body are working towards that wholeness. And there is some kind of intelligence there. I thought that was such an interesting point, but we never think about it that way. That intelligence is directing them to work in a harmony. So that's why when one organ becomes weak, the other compensates for it automatically, because there is a higher intelligence in there. So that's what it is. So this proves that there is a boss which is making it function. Okay, and this is just a maybe poetic way of saying. You can say that 1 second. Poetic way of saying that with the fear of God, fear of the boss, it's working like that. The positive way you can say this fear. So there is a whole system is there. And then he gave a very kind of interesting worldly example, because there are a lot of people who are saying, no, like, the modern science now slowly is changing. It's very physically oriented, right? Physical world oriented, the science. And some of them are like die-hard Gnostic, and they will say, no, aisa kuch nahi hai. There is no higher intelligence and all that. It's just by chance things happen, and life comes out. They call it chemical soup. You throw chemical soup and the life will pop out or something. Some weird ideas that they have. It's okay. So he said that एक आदमी था, हाँ, ये दृष्टांत मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा. See if you like it. So एक आदमी था, वो बोला हाँ कोई भगवान वगवान नहीं है, कोई हायर इंटेलिजेंस नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है, ये सब ऐसी है. हाँ, तो उसकी डॉटर और उसकी वाइफ जो है ना, वो दे बिलीव्ड इन गॉड. तो इसको कैसे लाइन पे लेके आए हम लोग. हाँ, सो उन लोग को बड़ा पॉजिटिवली, झगड़ा वगड़ा करके नहीं, पॉजिटिवली. सो फिर एक दिन जब वो ऑफिस गया ना तो उसका उन्होंने कमरा बहुत अच्छे से सजाया, उसमें फूल ला के रखा and some nice tablecloth and some nice drinks and all, very nicely they did everything. And then when he came, he was like, oh wow, say, who did that? They said, nobody, just happened. They said, no, that's not possible. You must have done it. See the point? That he thinks in the world everything is like beautiful and all that, and nobody's there. It just happened. फिर उसकी अकल ठिकाने आ गई. Say, okay, now I see what you say. I thought that was a very good dristant that he gave. He's saying that he was just saying, Nikhilanandji, this way, that the science knows the niyam. Niyam means the laws. But the science doesn't know niyamak. नियामक एक संस्कृत वर्ड है, नियम बनाने वाले को बोलते हैं नियामक. हाँ, सो जो सबको बंधन में रखता है, काइंड ऑफ मीन्स एक जैसे कि एक वो वर्स था ना कि चैप्टर 7 में that भगवान इज लाइक द धागा दैट गोज थ्रू अ नेकलेस, होल्ड्स एवरीबॉडी टुगेदर. दैट्स व्हाट इट इज. तो नियम बंधन में रखने वाला लॉ मेकर है यहाँ पे, उसको वो लोग नहीं जानते हैं. The physical scientists, they know the law, but they don't know the lawmaker, and they feel like it is functioning by itself, but law by itself doesn't function like that. There must be a lawgiver, and that's what you're focusing on over here. And then this lawmaker oversees that everything follows precisely. And then he was just saying that physical law, we know that how precise they are, because therefore we can predict everything. These guys, they predict this comet that is come, I don't know if you guys are keeping up with it. They said 80,000 years mein ek baar aata hai ye comet. So try to see this one. If you abhi to khair it's overcast for last 2-3 days, but it's going to be visible for 2 weeks. They have precisely everything and it just to let you know that it's going to be near Venus. You see the right side of Venus, there is going to be a comet. I don't know उसका कोई जापानीज नाम है, मेरे को नाम नहीं मालूम, बट इमेजिन इतना अच्छा कैलकुलेशन उन्होंने किया. 80,000 years में एक बार दिखाई देता है वो, इतना प्रिसिशन है उसमें. So he was just saying that how we can send a rocket to the moon, and we know exactly when it will land and where it will land and whatever, everything. That's how they're doing all these satellites and all that. So we can predict everything because everything follows the law. That's why. There's no haphazard over here. So saying that our mind also is the same way. Mind has certain laws. Then if you're going to think that by having all this dirt in my mind, I will get Brahman, it's not going to happen. एक तरह का law ही हो गया ना. You got to clean it first. Everything, So this is a part of the world. So, and then another thing, he said, this lawmaker, now we know that if there is a law, there has to be a lawmaker. This lawmaker is intelligent, because intelligence is required for law to be there. So and that is the proof that super intelligent, that Brahman, who is Ishwar of the world, he's there. And he's a protector of the world, creator of the world, all of that, this proves. And then he was just saying that for karma phal data, the word karma phal data means whatever action we do, the result we get. He's also that lawmaker is the karma phal data. And he has a picture of the whole scene. That's why he can give us a right result. We may think it's not, but it is absolutely appropriate result because he is the karma phal data. So he's saying basically this verse is saying that out of fear of that God, everything functions. And then the phenomenal forces, the examples are given. That Vayu, it moves around, functions because of fear of Brahman, it says. And then it says Surya rises because of fear of Brahman. And Nikhilanandji is funny. So he's saying sun doesn't say, नहीं आज मैं छुट्टी ले लेता हूँ. आज मेरा मन नहीं है, मैं उधर नहीं होऊंगा. No. Continuously they're doing their job. And then Agni and Indra, phenomenal forces, they are also doing their duty precisely. And he's saying मृत्यु से सभी डरते हैं. कौन ऐसा नहीं है जो नहीं डरता है, so, मृत्यु भी जो जिससे सब डरते हैं वो ब्राह्मण से डरता है. वो भी इधर उधर भागता रहता है अपना काम करने के लिए. I need to pick up people at the right time, neither 1 second before, no 1 second after. It has to be right. That was really good one. So all this proves that existence of that Brahman. Because the question was in the beginning put out with the doubt by these students. Instead of answering that question, they went through all this detail. कि कोई doubt नहीं रह जाएगा. See, now once we understand about lawmaker, हमारे में भी कोई doubt नहीं रह जाएगा. कि there is a higher intelligence, So this is what it is. And then this is where this mantra ends. And the next section is very interesting. They call it Anand Mimamsa. Mimamsa means, analysis. Analysis of the joy, because we are very confused about कि ये joy होता कैसे है. So they don't worry, we'll give you some quantitative and qualitative idea about that joy, of that peace and the joy that you feel when you get established. That's what is going to come next. But any question about this verse, about fear and how the phenomenal forces work and how there is higher intelligence? Any doubt remaining in anyone? Speak now. Because you have to go and tell other people. You have to be convinced yourself first, right? So if there is any doubt, clear it now. Okay, I guess nobody has a doubt. So everybody's going to do that now. Become the preacher. Koi sune cha na sune. Like Swamiji said, get on your terrace and shout it out. Anilji, you have not read for a while. Would you like to read?
All right. Through fear of him blows the wind. Through fear of him rises the sun. Through fear of him again, fire and moon, and lastly the fifth, death proceed to their respective duties. In the phenomenal world, in spite of its confusing plurality and endless multiplicity of things, there seems to be a golden cord of uniformity inasmuch as this external jigsaw puzzle follows a definite law in its moment-to-moment existence and activity. There is certainly a concord that runs through the noisy discord of the world. There is a silent rhythm imperceptibly running through the endless variety of confusing movements. Seasons similarly follow one after another rhythmically. Each object in the universe strictly conforms itself to its own nature. There are the natural laws which strictly follow all scientific observations. The sun is never dark, the moon is never hot, fire is never cold. A cow begets no lion, a tigress begets no bird. The innumerable laws of instincts and emotions observed among the vegetables, animals, and human lives are all strictly pursued everywhere in nature.
So we saw that how beautifully Swamiji explained that there is, harmony in the world. So the people who say the world is so chaotic and it is just like a big bang, some blast happened and then this happened and all that. The blast may have happened, but usme bhi rhythm hai. That's what I'm trying to say. That when we see destructive forces in there, because sometimes, I was just thinking about it, even some of the natural disasters that happen and all that, we are looking at it through a very small perspective, But in the larger scheme of things, there are so many different things can happen. I was just seeing the one museum, and there I had read about this thing before. The gold that we have on the earth, how precious it is for all the Indian people, right? Gold. We all have gold ornaments, this, that. So the gold, where it has come from? Whenever there is a supernova in the universe, when there is एक होता है, एक star explode करता है जोर से, because I'm interested in that kind of subject, so I kind of read and all that. So जब वो explode करता है ना, तो उस explosion में कुछ ऐसी heat वगैरह बनती है, उसमें सोना बनता है. So all the sona that you have on the earth, it does not come directly from earth. When this universe was getting formed and all these stars and planets were being formed, it has come from other stars. The gold, that we are enjoying on this earth. You see what I'm trying to say? So even the most precious thing has come from a big explosion. So there is always a reason behind everything. That's the point I'm trying to say, that it might look chaotic, but in the bigger picture, it is not. And there is a harmony in the universe that the lawmaker knows what he's doing. That's the point.
A law is always promulgated by a lawgiver. And wherever we find strict adherence to the law, it is always because of fear of the lawgiver. Similarly, if in nature we find that the natural laws are irrevocably declared and strictly followed, certainly we have to assume that behind the phenomena of nature, there is a definite lawgiver who strictly executes the law. He is ever standing, as it were, just behind nature with a raised whip, threatening all that total annihilation at the simplest disobedience.
So this word promulgated, I had to look up this word too. It's a formally proclaimed to put into effect. Means पहले law बनाया, फिर बोला अच्छा भी जाके ऐसा करो. Right? So phenomenal forces का भी ये हुआ. It's like we have talked about it. It's like somebody gets that position. Even one human who, is climbing the ladder of spirituality, उसकी कोई इच्छा है कि वो इंद्र बन जाए, if he's capable, he can apply for that job and Bhagwan will make him the Indra. So you can get that position and then it will be his job. But then he has to follow. अगर वो इंद्रा का काम नहीं करेगा तो फायर कर देंगे उसको, फिर he'll get somebody else. And even Arjuna, I'm thinking about it now, he told Arjuna didn't want to fight the war. And in the end, Krishna Bhagwan ने उसको समझाया कि भाई देख, I'm giving you the glory. नहीं तो, ये तो मरने ही वाले हैं. तू नहीं करेगा तो मैं करूँगा, किसी और को लेके आऊँगा करने के लिए. इनको तो मरना ही है, तेरे को glory मिल रही है. So that's what it is, that the lawmaker is there. And if you follow the law, you can enjoy your life. If you don't, then you'll get fired. So that's how it is. The lawmaker is there.
This idea is brought out by the Shruti in order to establish the supremacy of the spirit over matter and also its dynamism in it. Also, this declaration.
Oh, did Anilji's thing freeze? Oh.
That is frozen. We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
Okay. I think my internet went berserk. I'm so sorry. Now I can hear you. It just froze. Everybody's screen froze. Okay. So, where were you? Oh, again it happened. I cannot, everything froze for me. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what to do now.
We'll just wait. Give it a minute.
What should I do? Should I get out and come back in? Okay. I'm going to do that, okay?
Okay, we can. I think it's okay now, right?
Yeah, now so did my frame freeze for you?
Yes.
Okay. So now I can hear. I don't know. My internet is acting up because I have this wireless internet, so sometime it start acting up. So did you already read that paragraph?
So let me start this paragraph again.
Okay.
I just read one line before.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll start over again.
Yeah.
This idea is brought out by the Shruti in order to establish the supremacy of the spirit over matter and also its dynamic entity, but an existent reality. We quoted.
Okay, so what I did was I left it because it was happening again and again and again, so I didn't know what to do. Okay, did you read that paragraph?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Give me a minute and I'll just quickly read it. Okay. So here is just telling you that whatever we were talking about, that is the most supreme thing. We know that Brahman is the highest, and all this just proves that it is the highest, and it is that Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, that they're just bringing all the previous verses, and then it was indicative definitions were there, that it is full of bliss, omnipotence, omniscience, and then all the other things. And basically, even though it is invisible, incorporeal, undefined, abode-less, means we cannot grasp it with our five senses, but all these indirectly prove to us that Brahman exists. किसी को doubt हो तो this is the way to go. That's what he's trying to say. And that is the source of all dynamic life and the existing principles. Because all the harmony and everything that we have in the world, that is how we're doing it.
Okay. Five main observations are made here by the Shruti, such as the movement of air, the rising of the sun, the heat of the fire, the light of the moon, and lastly, the very principle of decay and death that sustains the perishable nature of a finite world called death. All of these indicate that the entire phenomenal world is not a haphazard idle dream of a madman, but it is an intelligent scheme ordered by a dynamic divine power. He who rediscovers this spiritual center becomes fearless